to ask you. I just need your help at some point to like understand
File
how to
structure.
organize. Yeah.
If you start texting me about GitHub, I'm probably gonna have to change my pants. Like that's if you start
Wait, Kyle, are you like
into that
red pilled?
level
Are
of
you
detail.
red pilled on it? This is such a nerdy cold open. Are you red pilled on AI? Like, are you using it and stuff?
Not really.
Okay, all right. So I like am, I guess, for lack of a better description, and I just discovered, like, I just moved my stuff from like chat and cowork and stuff to like Claude Code, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is awesome. And now I'm like, CJ, how do you turn this part off? How do you do this? And then he's just like,
how do I not create Ultron from the Avengers?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like, well, earlier I went in, I was like, who deleted all these files? And I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, find out next week on this B2B tech podcast about AI.
We're slowly becoming more and more an AI tech podcast that's going to be like fucking promoted on TBPN or some shit.
Oh my god.
That's where Dad's Bet Baseball is falling. We're going to have to add another tag on Spotify for technology and see. We might get some interesting listeners for that. Anyways, you are listening to Dad's Bet Baseball. We got Kyle here. Kyle, what's up, man? Glad to have you back on the show. Yeah, it is. I think I looked at the calendar, Kyle, and I actually think we had you on at this exact same time, like within a week of each other last year, to talk about the Phillies going into, because I believe we had almost like a red August instead of red October. We had at least like 3 straight Phillies themed shows. So,
we had too many last year. Well,
we had a lot, but it is time to go back into the Phillies and talk a little bit about them. So, Kyle, let me just start with like kind of your take on general state of the team. How do you feel about this team right now? And really, I think where we're trying to get at on this pod today is this Phillies team better than the Braves, or is this Phillies team really just a 6 seed?
It's a great question. I think the Braves are hitting the tough part of their schedule right now, and that's why we're seeing them kind of falter, and it doesn't get easier for them. And I really do think that 4-game set at Citizens Bank Park Labor Day weekend is going to truly mean something for both teams when the Phillies host the Braves. It's such a perfect storm for the Phillies right now, and I genuinely felt like they threw away a prime opportunity when they lost 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals like about almost a week ago. And then the cornfields at the Field of Dreams have somehow saved this team. And if they somehow go on a miraculous run and they end up winning the World Series, I swear to God, there better be like corn stalks on the ring, because that is the moment where things would turn around. Like Alec Boehm talked about during batting practice in St. Louis, something clicked, and then it starts to connect while they're, in Iowa, and then it carries over through that series. Bryson Stott is the greatest 6-hole hitter in Major League Baseball history. Aaron Nola has found it again. And
Aaron Nola's been good. I'll give him that. Nola, as Nola truthers, Nola's been great for the last 2 months.
Yeah, like he's got a sub-3 ERA in the month of August. I think he's at a 2.74 ERA, and they've needed it because Zach Wheeler.
His expected is 2 runs lower than his actual. Like he's had a bad home stretch in the beginning.
And Zach Wheeler has struggled to get through 5 innings recently, so they've absolutely needed Aaron Nola in those spots, and he's been phenomenal. And I think Jesus Luzardo is still one of the most under-the-radar pitchers of all time, because that dude just goes out there and shoves every 5th day and has been a huge catalyst for this team. And I don't know what buttons are being pressed, because I'm still very skeptical on Don Mattingly, and especially with his bullpen management, and seeing what this bullpen, can be is nice, but it's not always going to be like that, because baseball is a weird thing. But the Phillies are just hitting a perfect storm right now, and they've got, a 4-series set upcoming against teams that they are definitely better than, and it's going to set them up for the most important series of the season so far against the Braves on Labor Day weekend.
I mean, first of all, look, I was going to say I had some of the records in front of me. Like I had a reason I wanted to have Kyle on here. I had a little ulterior motive. This show has been known to reverse jinx or jinx a team when they come on here, depending on which mode they are in. And I wanted to get this because I don't think that the Phillies are doing that well. And while they are 8-2 in their last 10, My big issue that I have with this Phillies team is that the Phillies, I've yet to see the Phillies play a series against a team that is playoff contention or better and walked away impressed. And it hasn't happened all season. The Braves, I think, are extremely soft. I think they're actually probably the softest good team in the league. But I also look, they just did they get swept? They just lost 2 of 3 to the Twins.
They got swept by the Twins.
Oh, they did get swept by the Twins. That's right. They came back.
Yeah, they did win today. They had to make up against the White Sox,
which should have been a terrible Brave spot.
Also, literally broke the website. By the way, was that makeup game coming in from June? But anyways,
but the thing is that Phillies are 23-30 against winning record teams. I just never walk away seeing them put it together against the Dodgers, against the Brewers. They've always had trouble with the Cardinals, so I kind of don't put that over there. They have 7 games against the Braves that are going to kind of make or break divisional at least. I still have a bad taste in my mouth from the Cubs series earlier this year. There you go. But I just don't like this team. Like the barrel rates are not like this. The barrel rates aren't where I want them. There's a lot of mirage with this team for me. Duran does not look great, but I'm mostly worried about Zach Wheeler. Yeah. Zach Wheeler's velo, I will say, is up. I'm not. So something's going on. Wheeler hasn't been right since the Miami game where he said he didn't feel well and he labored, and then he labored the next start and he labored the start after that. Velo is up, so it is not this. There should not be a reason for imaging or anything like that. Like his velo is up, but he's walking the farm, and he just looks tired.
Yeah, I think he's hitting the wall after everything with the blood clot and getting his rib removed. I think he's just kind of hitting that wall now, and it's a terrible spot to hit it in, but I think he's a guy that if there's anybody in the league that can work themselves out of it, it's Zach Wheeler. To kind of blow back at your thoughts there, though, Adam, like the one thing that I've been impressed with during this run, the Phillies for the past 4 years have lived and died with the home run. Like that has been their MO. This year, up until the trade deadline, when they go and get a rise, they were dying with the home run. Like they were not hitting home runs outside of Schwarber going on his first half.
4% barrel rate on the season for the team. 2% if you don't include Schwarber and Harper.
And now they've kind of shifted philosophy to this small ball mentality, and it's working very, very well. Like out of nowhere, like Alec Boehm's getting on base and not swinging at the first pitch. All of a sudden, Bryson Stott is getting on base.
7 pitch at bats for Boehm is something I'm actually very excited about right now.
Justin Crawford is, learning from Luis Arraez and is like one of the best 2-strike hitters in the National League right now. And Bryce Harper's on a tear when it comes to drawing walks, and he's going to walk for the most that he's had since 2021 when he won the MVP.
Yeah.
Like these guys are getting on base, and I think that's where the Phillies are most lethal is like, I don't want Trey Turner to go up to bat and swing the bat once. Get on base. You're still one of the fastest players in Major League Baseball. You are most valuable when you're stealing bases. Same thing for guys like Stott, Brandon Marsh, Justin Crawford. Like if those guys just get on base, this Phillies team will have success. And I think that's a huge part of why we're seeing them win right now is guys are getting on base and they're just moving them around the base paths and it's working.
Yeah, I'm looking here at their upcoming schedule. So they have a revenge spot against the Cardinals coming up this weekend at home. So that's a pretty good way to probably, you win 2 out of 3 there. You're 8-1 in your last 9. Then they go out west, and to be honest, I think their schedule actually gets kind of like semi-hard for the next couple weeks. You have a 3-game set at not a very good Seattle team, but like a team that basically either they don't start winning
tough
now
spot to play. Like tough spot.
Exactly. It's not a great spot. All right. You got 3 against the Angels right after that, but then you have 3 against Arizona, which may end up being a relatively important series that is coming.
That's an extremely important series because the D-backs own the second tiebreaker against them.
Yes. And then you've got a 4-game homestand against Atlanta, a 3-game homestand against Houston, and then you go and play another 3 at Atlanta. So that is like not, I think if the Phillies are able to come out of that stretch and did you say they're 23-30 against teams
23-30 against teams with above
winning records. Yeah. If they're able to come out of that,
they have not beaten a team.
Games.
They haven't won a series against a winning team since the second week of July.
I think if I'm looking at a way, so let's first just go back to, let's say you wanted to bet this team to win the division. I'm not saying Berg, you clearly stated you don't want to do that, but for anybody who's looking to at least shop around, get the best time to buy them, certainly not right now. Is the buy-in moment after that Arizona series?
I think
because they have 7 against the Braves.
You have to.
So you almost gonna have to hope that that West Coast trip is sort of middling.
Do the Braves play the Marlins again? Between now and then, because that would be it.
Braves play.
I say this also to say we nailed the time to buy the
Braves end with the Marlins. Yes,
so they end with the Marlins. Okay, so the time to buy them is going to be Labor Day weekend.
But here's the thing with the Braves too. Their upcoming series this weekend, they're at Milwaukee, then they go home to play the Dodgers, and then they host the Rockies. They have another makeup game August 31st against the Giants, and then they go to DC before they go to Citizens Bank Park for Labor Day weekend.
So before that, okay, so then actually that's it. So the Nats series is when you need to do it, because you want the net, because otherwise,
I think those are two makeup games because it's just a 2-game set against the Nats.
Yeah, so that it's technically a look ahead for them, and that was the whole cap that I had on this Yankees. That Yankees, who seem to be in control of if everything holds, Yankees are who went in 6 games back for this whole week that we talked about, are gonna come out of it 4 games back. Because Tampa lost more games than they won along with the Yankees. But this is the same situation with the Phillies. You basically want them right before that Nat series. What are they, 5 back, 4 back, 5 back?
Phillies are 5 now after
5 back. So yeah,
they were off
because if they get it down to 3 before the Sandwich Houston series, then you're in good shape, because it should get down there. But that's when you want to buy it. I'm assuming right now it's plus. It's probably north of plus 250.
Yeah, let me look at the price right now. So for division, I bet you it's you think it's north of 250?
Yeah, I think it's probably 3-1, something like that.
Let me look.
275.
Okay, yeah, they have this listed for. Oh no, DraftKings only has the NL West. Let me go to our blue book here, because they're always good about keeping live futures during games. Phillies are plus 410.
Okay, that's a great
division.
So I mean, I don't hate that now. I just also don't think they're winning the division. I think they're closer to missing the playoffs than they are winning that division, to be totally honest. I'm very, very concerned about this team. I'm just really concerned about this. I don't mind when people are like, oh, they haven't won a game that Wheeler, Luzardo, or Sanchez and started. That's fine. Those are their 3 best pitchers. I'm perfect. That's actually how it should be. But I'm extremely concerned about this team's ability to beat teams that are in it and are good, and to hit on the road. I like the fact that
oddly enough, they're a better road team this year than they are home.
They are. They're wild.
You can get them, by the way, at 5-1 to miss the playoffs. So you can get a little bit of a longer price, which, if we're just going by statistics, that is better value, just because of the lump of teams that they're going to have to compete with to get into the playoffs between Arizona. Basically, if you believe that both Arizona and San Diego will continue to be 8 to 12 game over 500 type of teams. I got to go look at the Diamondback schedule here, but
I'm just looking at the Braves.
Diamondbacks. Wow. Diamondbacks have a season ending series against San Diego San Diego.
That's so critical for our futures.
Wow. That is huge. Yeah. For the Diamondbacks in San Diego. So yeah, I definitely think you could get some value there. I do think the only pushback I would have, I've seen a lot of people cite the run differential between them and the Braves.
That's from early in the season. A lot of that's early in the season.
I think they literally ended April with a minus 60 or something run differential, if I'm not mistaken. 62 and 39 since Mattingly has taken over. So, that's not a hot streak.
Pretty good. It's really good.
that's pretty good. And
the
only other
bullpen, by
thing
the way, that everyone wants to get on is their expected puts them 4th in the league.
I mean, Duran's still been great. I
Yeah.
mean,
Duran's been great. Just everybody's
Brooks
kind of
Raley's
doing
been great after his first outing.
Brooks been great. You mean
Alex McFarland's so good.
David Robertson?
Yeah.
They
Great
literally
value,
went out there
David
like we need a 38-year-old former Met on this team. Oh man, David Robertson's not here. David Robertson will find his way onto this team, even though Nestor Cortez, I guess, is on the team now.
Yeah,
that's
Alex McFarland looks great. I think
Alex McFarland looks
that
good.
Kid's got everything that you need from a like high leverage. Like,
Alvarado looks washed.
Terrible. Like he needs like a Phantom IL stint.
Yeah,
like,
he's probably. I think they're probably gonna. I mean, they don't have. They have other lefties. I think Brooks is gonna take that.
Or they need to just find legal Ozempic for him because
yeah. Well, I thought they were going to go after what they should do. Like, I don't understand the Nestor Cortez signing. I would have liked for
it's
them
this
to go
year's
after,
Walker Buehler.
Yeah, but Walker Buehler couldn't go innings either. I would rather them go after Miles Mikolas or someone like that and just have some. Like, I thought they were going to take Zach Littell or one of those dudes. Like, give me Zach Littell. Put Zach Littell on this team. But no, the D-backs are like, no, we'll take him because like.
And then today the Phillies got somebody from the D-backs that they sent to AAA.
Who?
Let me see here. It's a reliever that like
I mean Strom. They could re-sign Strom. Strom got waived.
Yeah.
Could bring him back.
Andrew Hoffman, they got off waivers from the Diamondbacks, an option to AAA.
So I guess like here's my thing. Like I'll put it because the hot seat on this. Like I think this team's closer to not making the playoffs than they are to being a 6th seed.
I think they still make the playoffs, and it's more so looking at the Braves schedule because of who the Braves have. Like I mentioned, they have the Brewers this weekend in Milwaukee. They have to host the Dodgers for 3. Still have to play 7 against the Phillies. We'll see how that goes. Braves still have to play Tampa Bay on this schedule. They still have to go to Wrigley. They have to play the Astros, and then they get the Marlins at the end of the year too. Like it's not an easy end of August into September for the Braves, and I don't think the Braves pitching is all that good outside of Chris Sale.
Let me you guys continue. I want to see when that first series was against the Braves because I think that was part of the like they were.
The Phillies haven't played the Braves since April.
Since that disaster.
Yeah.
Like okay, so and Mattingly wasn't the manager then, right?
No. The ultimate like nail in the coffin was they lost 2 out of 3 to the Braves at the end of April, and then that
was the Braves
Cubs sweep.
That was
Cubs
the Braves,
too.
Cubs stretch, right? I believe that was
That's
the
what I
whole,
thought.
that was
they got swept by
like,
the Braves, swept by the Cubs, and then they won the Saturday game of the 3-game set over the weekend against the Braves, and then the Monday was an off day, and that's when they fired Rob Thompson.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and the only other thing I was looking at, guys, was like so I was trying before this to see a comparison, just given their profile, given the run differential, and what similar teams in past history do they look like. And there's 2 teams that came up that would enter again. Their run differential right now is what, like plus 12, plus 15, plus 15 right now. Okay. So there are 2 teams that have entered the playoffs and won a round or advanced since 2006. Can you guys guess what those teams are with a run differential of 20 or less heading into the playoffs? There's only been 2.
Since when?
Since 2006. So last 20 years.
2 teams have done it.
2 teams with a run differential of like plus 20 or less, basically.
Okay.
Every other team has had to have had higher than that.
Any year, the Cleveland Guardians.
No, they are not on that list.
Are the Tigers on that list?
Not on that list.
Then I have no guesses.
It would be your. Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess, Kyle?
Someone's telling
one
me
was actually fairly recent, and it should be one in your guys' minds.
22 Phillies.
The 23 Diamondbacks.
23 Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I've removed them from my brain. I hate that team.
Probably safe to do that on your guys' part. And then the 2006 Cardinals, who won the World Series.
With 86 wins or 85 wins.
83 wins. 83 wins and a plus 19 run differential. So
that makes sense.
That would put them in not great company, but I also think like plus 15, they're probably going to finish the season.
Adam Wainwright ain't walking through that door though. 2006 Adam Wainwright is not walking through that door for this Phillies team. All right.
Yadier Molina is not walking through that door.
Yadier Molina is not
walking.
You know what I will say? Okay, you want to talk about some good things with the Phillies? watching the number of teams that needed catchers and the number of players. I always make this cap to people is when a player is a pitcher and they have a new catcher, that is the biggest cap that you could have against them. I faded every single new pitcher because of their catcher, and I was wrong on one, Gausman. But give credit to the fact that one, JT Realmuto, while people not understanding why he's on the team, is because we have one of the best starting rotations in baseball, and it is absolutely because of him. Mm-hmm. But also, Garrett Stubbs has been awesome, and he's been Aaron Nola's catcher, and he's been able to catch for any of those guys, and he wasn't able to do that before.
That's another thing that has stood out to me since the trade deadline. Rafael Marchand getting injured is one of the best things to happen to this team.
Best thing could have happened to the team.
I never root for injuries, obviously.
I don't either. I completely agree.
I truly could never understand why they were carrying 3 catchers. I get you don't want to lose Marchand to be.
They tried to get Stubbs in to play left field. They really wanted him on the team.
Marchand is not good. Like he hits 100. I say he's a switch batter. He's not a switch hitter because he doesn't hit. Like there's something that like they're just that's one of the downfalls of this Phillies front office. They're too loyal to so many of their guys. Yeah. And Marchand's not good. And the moment he got injured, saved this team because then they could finally call up Brian De La Cruz, and he's been awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like Garrett Stubbs constantly is showing up in the box score. Every single time I'm looking at who had a good start, I look at who caught, and Garrett Stubbs is the one who did it. And that was not the case the last 5 years.
And statistically, this team, I was looking at it when they were carrying the 3 catchers. This team, no matter who the pitcher is, every single pitcher is better, obviously, with JT, but they are exponentially better when Garrett Stubbs catches them versus Rafael Marchand. That dude cannot call a game to save his life.
If you notice, when JT was hurt and Marchand was catching for him, he had his worst stretch of the season.
Mm-hmm. And I think one of the big things for this team, too, is Derek Hill is 2026's version of 2022 Edmundo Sosa.
Yeah, dude, he really is. I will say this. I mean, another positive thing on this Phillies team. I don't want to wax on this Phillies team. I want to kind of figure out really what they are. I can't remember a Phillies team winning so many games from behind that they had no business winning from behind. Mm-hmm. But this team to me, like, look, you and I drank all the Kool-Aid. I took the 95 wins with you. I took the Nola 200 Ks, which, by the way, is going to have 170 at least.
I think we had him for 95 plus wins too on the
right. But so here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
But it's an 86, 88 win team. It's not a 95 win team. They have a fantastic rotation for a 5-game series. I still don't think this team is ready for a 7-game series. I'm deeply. I don't know. Is Philly media talking about this or not? But like, I'm deeply worried about Zach Wheeler.
No, they're too worried about AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts talking.
Are they
each
really?
Other. Yeah, it's the most tired thing I've ever heard. I am concerned about Wheeler just because it feels like he's just laboring, and I don't know what the cause of that is. And I'm hoping it's just like, hey, I'm 36 years old and I'm just a little tired, like season's long, whatever it may be. But it's definitely something that's concerning because you're almost relying on Aaron Nola to do what he's done over his last, 9-10 starts on a more consistent basis. And I'm not saying he's not capable of it. It's more so just like you want that in addition to what Zach Wheeler is able to do. And if you can have those 4 guys going, you're not as worried about Andrew Painter or whomever is in that 5 spot, Nestor Cortez, whoever. But apparently Nestor Cortez coming in they're potentially going to go to a 6-man rotation when he's ready to kind of give guys a bump, which may help Wheeler. But
that stretches the bullpen.
Yeah.
Like Painter, Painter at 96, by the way, on his fastball. And he blew up because of the walks, but he hit 96 on his fastball. So like if you were, I don't like to treat that like a spring training game. They won that game, so it's fine. But that was good. Sanchez doesn't look like Sanchez. Sanchez looks tired. The only guy who doesn't look tired is Jesus Luzardo. Mm-hmm. And Aaron Nola is about to hit the best part of the season for him because he actually is great in September. He's great down the stretch. But Sanchez doesn't look. Sanchez is like 10-1 for a Cy Young. I'm like, I don't think Sanchez. Sanchez doesn't look like he has that same kind of movement and magic.
Ever since he lost his scoreless inning streak, it's like
Yeah.
been like very like up and down. Thanks,
Up
Trey
and down.
Turner.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't know. This team is like, I guess if I have a choice between 4-1 for the division and 3-1 for them to miss the playoffs, I'm taking 3-1 to miss.
No, it's 5-1. 5-1 to miss the playoffs. Yeah, and I'll throw one other one in here because I think if you're bullish on them, the bet you need to make is that they're 4-1 to make the LCS. In my opinion, I think that's the one that you because if you're 4-1 to win the LCS or to get to the LCS, not to win the National League, because shorter series, obviously wild card and division, you don't need to rely on, like, you get one start from Wheeler, like, and Wheeler you don't have to lean on him for 2 critical starts. I know this is crazy. Like, I feel like saying this out loud, being like, well, you can't rely on Wheeler once it comes to the playoffs because he's been nails. But I do think there's definitely a level of fatigue. I also think that he obviously was on a mission to get back a lot sooner than was anticipated, and testament to him in terms of his recovery and how he kind of treats his body. But I also think, like, he's 36-year-old, came off of major surgery. Like, that certainly could be taking a toll. And the problem now is that, you can't really rest them either. I think that's obviously why they went out and made the Cortez move, because they had to find some way to fill in just someone that could be able to, like, eat some more innings that they could trust once every couple of days. And for Wheeler, you're too close to missing the playoffs than you are getting to the division. So you have to still find a way to throw them. But yeah, I think if you're bullish, for me, I would take them to make the LCS at the 4-1 price versus betting them just to win the division at 4-1. And the division
I
one,
trust them in a short series.
Yeah,
I think in a short series they have better odds than damn near every team in the National League, simply because of the starting pitching, especially in a wild card series where it's a best of 3. Like, I'd take Sanchez, Wheeler, and Luzardo against anybody.
And by the way, their most likely opponent would be the Braves, because you're going to have
good
Milwaukee.
So bring
LA,
that back, do that back
as you
again,
wanted
like
to.
every year when the Braves are going to get in their own head. Braves offense, by the way, is super down this past month and a half. The Phillies have a better offense than the Braves have in the past month, but the Braves are going to have that whole, oh man, we got the bye thing again that they always do, and then maybe the Phillies sign Orlando Arcia just for the vibes, just to have him for that roster. What do you think?
I'm so intrigued how the top of the National League kind of shakes out, to see where I want the Phillies to be slotted in the playoffs, because I think the number one team I would like for them to avoid is the Cubs. I think the Cubs, I don't think the Phillies offense can compete with the Cubs offense. Like, if the Cubs get a jump on you, like, I don't think the Phillies have what it takes to churn a comeback against them.
I think this Cubs team.
You just wait till the 7th inning with the Cubs.
So yeah, this Cubs team reminds me of that 2023 Phillies team. Like, they're either, like, you want to talk about teams that are high goal, like, they are either spiking the ball or they are just gone. Like, we talked about this the other day. People seem to forget that this Cubs team disappeared for 3 months of the season, and it's August. Like, there's going to be a cold streak. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. It's also, they have a starting rotation that's held together with duct tape, like actual duct tape. If Cabrera gets another blister, he's just going to be a man on fire. Like, what is going on with this team? So I don't know. I'm not high on that Cubs team. But I don't want to go to Wrigley.
Yeah, that's the other part. I don't want to go to Wrigley for 3 games.
Yeah.
Their schedule is not easy also down the stretch for the Cubs. They've still got 7 against Milwaukee, 3 against Arizona. They've got a series against the Braves. And then they end the season in a pretty critical. That last weekend, man, is going to just be electric, because they have the last series of their season is at the Red Sox. So there will be a lot on the line.
Berg, we know how this is all
for
going to
both of
wind
those
up. The
teams.
Phillies are going to be the third wild card, and they're going to have to go to LA to play the Dodgers.
A weak Dodgers team. It's a weak Dodgers team. It is. It is a mediocre Dodgers.
Which team is not soft? Are you just all like? Is the Brewers the only team that's not soft? I feel like every other NL team you've gone through is like they're weak, they're soft.
Brewers aren't soft. I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs, but the Cardinals aren't soft.
Are the Diamondbacks soft? We need to get Lee back on.
Diamondbacks aren't soft. I'm more excited about the bottom half of the playoff teams than I am the top half. I just see a lot of flaw. Like Dodgers are fine. Like I probably overextended. Dodgers have like, angry Shohei Ohtani is not who I want to run into right now. And he is like, Shohei Ohtani was like, you really want to take that MVP from me? And he's just like, I'm still here, bitches.
Yeah, but you know, some white kid with like long, luscious locks is going to get called up right before September 1st to be on their playoff roster, and he's going to become some playoff hero. And
yeah, I mean, but this Braves team though, like nothing about this Braves team impresses me. Like this is not a scare. I guess what it is that they're not scary.
No. They don't have like their first half of the season, even their first 2 months are more of an anomaly than their actual season. This isn't like the same Acuna. Drake Baldwin cooled off a lot. Like he went from power guy to like pure contact guy. Matt Olson, friend of the program, future friend of the program. Hopefully
cashes our home run leader.
Hopefully cashes home run leader. Look, we're rooting for two things with that Braves team. More wins than the Dodgers, and Matt Olson to have more home runs than Kyle Schwarber. Sorry. But and Spencer Strider to come back and win 14 games.
Would you rather see the Dodgers in the wild card round than you would the Braves?
No, I'd rather see the Braves.
I feel like I'd definitely rather see the Braves if I'm a Phillies fan. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we would see the Braves if the Braves take the 1 seed.
You would see you'll see the Braves if they get the 3 seed.
We could see the Braves in a short series if the Phillies are the third.
In a short series, yeah. I'm not talking
Braves
about. I'm thinking about
when they get to the playoffs, man. Who's that? Yeah. What's the rotation? Martin Perez, Chris Sale, and then who? Tyler Mahle.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it has to be Mahle. Mahle has to be one of them.
Mahle, I think it'd be Elder.
Yeah. Well.
So I think it's Sale. Perez and Elder, or
that's terrible. That's a bad.
Yeah,
that's a. By the way, Sales
if you lose,
Sale hasn't struck out. Sales has the lowest K per 9 of his career this season.
Yeah, the Braves actually they have to try and play to get the 1 or the 2 seed because they in a 3 game series that would be a disaster for them. And also at some point. Something is going to get tweaked with Chris Sale. He's been healthy for way too long. Not wishing that upon the man. I'm just saying this is what he does. He tends to get hurt. All right. Take a quick pause. This show is brought to you by our website, Handigraphs. Go check it out. You can get a 7-day free trial and just sign up at handigraphs.com. Berg, I think we only have maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks where we can legitimately feel good about betting batter props. Because first week of September, I'm like, all right, I'm back to betting unders, and I'm also probably moving a lot of my bankroll over to NFL at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I've been knee deep in pitcher stuff. I've been also playing around with handigraphs. I'm very big on walks right now, like huge on walks. Batter walks are my thing. Harper constantly showing up in my walks feed. But yeah, man, I don't know, like ready for hockey too. Ready for hockey on the site, which is going to be fun. Now I'm also just a nerd now because like I don't even access our own site through handicaps.com. I just play with it through my agent. And then I talked to Sean Hardy and I'm like, I'm talking to my agent today. And he goes, your agent like Ari Gold? And then I said, no, my AI agent, even nerdier. And then he just said, that is really lame. And he's right, but I don't care.
We do have a way, I will say for folks, like if you are intimidated by stats, we have some stuff coming out here that will make it a lot easier to kind of just figure out what the hell all this means, build your own filters, kind of do Berg things and figure out the list of guys that you want to target for each day. So make sure to check that out. We've got some new releases, I think, coming out here in the next couple of days, unless Berg decides to just like code his own app over this weekend.
I got really nervous when I told you I was in code. You're like, what are you building? And it's just kind of like when I go to Vegas and like my wife's like, who'd you talk to? I'm like, all my nerdy guy friends that I do podcasts with. And she's like, no girls. And I'm like, no, because I sleep when I go to Vegas. Like I don't even have time.
Vegas is like, I feel like
next week
once you're like married and you're like mid 30s or mid 40s, it becomes more, you hang out with more dudes, I feel like, in Vegas than I would just going to like the office.
It's literally like just my regular friend group. And I'm like there and I'm just there and do whatever. And I'm either in Vegas or New York. I don't want to hang out in the suburbs of Boston. I got to find reasons to come to Philly though, to hang out with Kyle. We got to do that. That needs to happen for Flyers. I'll come down for Flyers games and stuff. I'm actually want to know what ticket I'm taking next week in Circa. Flyers to win the East 38-1.
I like that.
I love that team's vibe, dude.
They're so fun.
They're so fun. I haven't been able to. That's the thing about this Phillies team is that I don't think this Phillies team's likable. And I think the Flyers team is fun. I don't think the Sixers team's likable. Don't get me wrong. They're like star power, whatever. Maxey aside and VJ, I don't think that's a likable team. But Flyers team is so fun. This Phillies team, I wouldn't call them fun. I would call them old and business professionals.
And I think that stems from the top because Dave Dombrowski has kind of lost his mind.
Nestor Cortez. What are we doing?
Less than a year removed from major surgery.
Elbows. Yeah. What is that? There was other guys out there you could have traded for, like, I don't know.
They should have traded for Robbie Ray or Casey Mize, but
I didn't know why they didn't do that.
They ran out of time. Did you see that article?
No.
That was the quote. They ran out of time.
To try and get Mize?
To try and get another like pitcher at the trade deadline.
Mize would have helped this team a lot.
They should have got Robbie Ray with a rise.
Berg did say this on our deadline show when we were trying to go over like who were winners and losers, and you're like, why didn't they just get Robbie Ray? Like
I was banging the table for that since like mid-June.
I heard that, you know what? Buster's ask must have been insane because he was selling everything.
And then he trades him in the division to the Padres.
They trades him in the division to the Padres. I don't know what Preller was doing. Preller didn't have anything that he sent to them.
Preller never has anything.
He has no cards. It's like somebody who goes up. He's literally like somebody who's like, I am all in. What do you have? A pair of twos. This is like... Yeah, dude. Dombrowski running outside is such a Daryl Morey from Javon.
Yes.
That is such a... It is
1,000%.
That is such a Morey move. And then this freaking January 6th West Virginia dude, Gansey comes in and is just like beep boop beep 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 LeBron. Like so what's gonna happen is what are we gonna do? Are we gonna get we're gonna get Epstein or are we gonna get Theo?
They're gonna promote Mattingly.
You're gonna promote Mattingly. You're gonna promote Mattingly and bring in Cora. They're not gonna get Cora, or they'll promote Mattingly and keep Mattingly.
That's the story, is that unless Donnie Baseball goes on a World Series run, that Alex Cora. That's the thing that's really annoying me about the Phillies off the field wise. They are a team and an organization that keeps things so close to the chest about every move they make. Like there's rarely any leaks about them. Like every move they've made that's been major, whether it be, Bryce Harper, even though the writing was on the wall, it was never really out there. Trey Turner, like even the Luis Arraez trade, nobody saw that.
Trey Turner and Harper coming were the most obvious things possible.
Yeah. Like Arraez wasn't on our radar. Like the Brandon Marsh trade, when that happened, that was like out of left field, no pun intended, but like they keep things so close to the vest. And the fact that there's still a month and a half left of the season, and it's like, oh yeah, Alex Cora is going to be the manager while you're trying to make the playoffs, is just very, very suspicious to me.
It's just funny because some of the someone's had a conversation. Like, I don't think Mattingly cares. I don't think Don cares.
No.
But he also, because he came there to be a bench coach. Like
I think Mattingly is just kind of enjoying this.
He's enjoying.
I mean, he's a very competitive guy, so could be incorrect. Maybe he does go home and he's like, "Why the fuck am I not being offered this job already? Why is this like? Is there any sort of Alex Cora rumors? This is fucking bullshit." But I don't. I kind of see him at this point like he's managed. He's obviously the manager of the Dodgers for a while. Like it's to me, I just feel like the sense has been more of, And I think that's kind of why the team is, played better, is just because of the lack of, urgency or pressure from him.
Yeah.
Whereas like Thompson, it was clear. It was like, I missed my deadline, and everybody, we got to, put together whatever we need, whatever deliverables for this project. Cause my ass is going to be grass. And I think that just kept sort of feeding into the team chemistry.
I have a conspiracy take on
Topper
getting fired too. I think they were going to fire Kevin Long, and Rob Thompson said, I'm going to fall on the sword for my guy.
Kevin Long should have been fired 3 years ago.
Exactly. But what did they do this offseason, Berg? They extended Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
Who's Kyle Schwarber's best friend in the world that helped fix his career? Who's Trey Turner's best friend? Kevin Long. Who does Bryce Harper love? Kevin Long.
Well, it's right. Why is Bryson Stott still on that team? Because of Bryce Harper. Like, Harper says he's not the GM, but I like Bryson Stott, but Bryson Stott would not be on this team. Like, Bryson Stott, they're from the same hometown. Like, he is.
They grew up together.
They grew up together. He's his boy. So
which, like, kudos to Bryson Stott. Jumping over to third base, he's playing Gold Glove third base like he was at second base. Like, I do think Kevin Long was going to be the guy that they fired after that Braves series, and Topper was like, I'm going to let my guy survive, and I'll go off into the sunset. And
yeah, I mean, but it's because I think he still works for the Phillies, and he's just
they said that they're going to offer him like a
advisor thing. They like him being. It's like Charlie Manuel kind of thing, where it's like you got to go. But that was hilarious because Charlie Manuel was replaced by Mackinnon, right? No,
Ryan Sandberg.
Who was awful. Who was awful because he was
because Sandberg was the manager at Lehigh Valley.
And he was the worst version. It was like having the worst version of Larry Boa.
Yep.
Like everyone was agitated constantly. And then he got fired, and McKinnon comes in, and McKinnon is like, did you remember he coached the Marlins?
Yeah.
CJ for a while, and nicest human being on the planet. Everybody loved him. Team wasn't great. They were like playing 500 ball. Reese Hoskins has that August. And they were like, yo, we got to bring him back. And he was like, guys, I am like not a real manager. I am just like, literally, he's like a stepdad. He's like stepdad. Stepdad Pete was great. But Ryan Sandberg, Nola hated Ryan Sandberg, and he came up during that. I remember that. Like, he was a rookie for him, and he hated him. Yeah. That was
everyone hated
Maikel
him.
Franco came there. Yeah, that's right.
Legend. I still have a house on Maikel Franco Island.
You do? Yeah.
He was my guy. If he didn't get hit in the hand, he'd still be playing third base for this team.
Probably.
All I know is Rob Thompson was going to bed every night in April going, God damn it. Why didn't this team get Bo Bichette? And he's actually recovered, by the way, fairly nicely. He's like below average now.
He probably had a dartboard of Dombrowski's face in his bedroom because it's like, oh, here's our big offseason moves. We're going to sign Brad Keller and Adolis Garcia, and neither of them panned out.
Are on the team anymore.
Anything. Yeah, Keller's done.
The one thing I will say is that the re-signings, you can't fault the re-signings. The re-signings are fine. No. The re-signings are good. No.
I said this on our show yesterday. Dave Dombrowski has had 7 moves, I think, in his tenure as Phillies GM, president of baseball ops, that have actually like meant something to the team, not including like re-signing Kyle Schwarber or signing Kyle Schwarber initially. Joan Duran, Brandon Marsh. I think the Jonathan Bolin trade has been a slam dunk, obviously, because Strom got DFA'd and Bolin's got 4 more years of team control before he even hits arbitration.
I like Bolin a lot.
He's really good. Trading for Luzardo, I think, was a slam dunk.
So re-signing Luzardo.
Does he get credit? Does he get credit for the Sanchez trade? Or does he?
That
was what's his name?
Matt Klentak.
Oh, Klentak signed Harper too.
John Middleton signed Harper.
But yeah. But Klentak made the Sanchez trade.
Yeah, and then who was the other?
Klentak's younger than all of us, by the way.
Which is nuts.
That's crazy to me. He had no business being GM.
No. There was one other move that I said was like a pretty solid move from Dombrowski, and then everything else has just been rentals. I think the Arise trade was good. We'll see if they re-sign them. But everything else is just like
they got Arise for cheap. That was what I'd say. When
trading for Edmundo Sosa was a smart move.
That was a good move.
Yeah. But everything else is just like they've done nothing to improve the roster.
Yeah. Go give a call to David Stearns and ask if re-signing people would have helped his ball club this year, because that tends to get forgotten by fans. Like, if you can just re-sign one of the, I don't know, really good players that you had on your team, that should count as a net positive in your free agency rather than just like maintaining status quo, because not every GM has the ability to do that. So, Kyle, last quick question, then we'll get you out of here. Where does this Phillies team end this year? What is their final destination?
I think they make the playoffs. I think they're a wild card team, whether it be as the third division winner or a wild card spot. I think they get to the division series, and then it all depends on who they end up getting matched up against.
Oh, okay.
It depends on Wheeler. Yep. It depends on the bullpen. But I think they survive the short wild card series just based on starting pitching. And then depending on who the LDS matchup is where the rest of the season trajectory goes.
You just hope you don't get the Brewers. That's that would be the team if I'm the Phillies that I would want to avoid at all costs until the NLCS, because I think the Brewers would match up pretty well against them. Kyle, where can we find you, by the way?
Yeah, you can follow the pod at Underground PHI across the board, talking Philly sports twice a week. Berg, Philadelphia Water Dogs, favorites to win it all.
Nice. That's what we like.
Favorites to win it all, plus 200 across the board. We're covering Water Dogs, we're covering Phils, Eagles right around the corner. I love your Flyers take. I think that's going to be great, especially next year after this year when they go get McDavid. That's going to rock.
Wall is their backup. Oh, yeah. They are. I've heard that too.
Thrown around.
They sabotaged. They poison pilled a Western Conference franchise.
City of Stars.
Did you see that?
Resident Pittsburgh Penguins fan needs to sign off from this podcast.
Did you see? Did you see that Cutter rejected? That team's.
They have a chance to do the funniest thing ever.
They have a chance to do the absolute funniest thing ever, but they're not going to. I don't want them to do that. And he's. So we'll see.
I love LeBron. I love the signing. I think it's huge. And
LeBron's a Sixer.
It's insane. And
we're covering New Yorker LeBron.
Yeah.
New Yorker LeBron.
Yeah. Brooklyn
state
LeBron.
Resident New Yorker.
LeBrooklyn.
Just helicoptering in every game. Hopefully he's got Kobe Bryant's insurance policy.
Wow.
With that, Berg.
Wait. Yeah. No, I don't want to wait to get it.
What's the final word?
Nestor Cortez is starting soon.